Welcome back to InfoFeed. And today we're looking at a rare moment of stillness in one of most volatile corners. As the moon of Shawwal rises over the Hindu Kush, it brings with it more than just the end of Ramadan. It brings a desperate 5-day silence. In a world distracted by the fires in the Persian Gulf, a separate, open war has been raging between two former allies, Afghanistan and Pakistan. But today, both nations have officially lowered their sights. Following high-stakes mediation by Qatar, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia, the Taliban and the Pakistani government have agreed to a temporary ceasefire for the festival of Eid al-Fitr. This post comes just 96 hours after the single deadliest incident in this 3-week conflict, a Pakistani airstrike on the Omid Addiction Treatment Hospital in Kabul. While the UN confirms at least 143 deaths, Afghan officials have put the toll closer to 400. This is the backdrop of today's truce. A peace built not on trust, but on the exhaustion of a region that has seen 115,000 people displaced since February. For decades, Islamabad viewed the Taliban as their strategic debt against India. That theory died this spring as Kabul's drones struck Rawalpindi, the heart of Pakistani's military power. The current open war began on February 26 after Pakistan launched air raids targeting TTP, Pakistani Taliban, hideouts, which Kabul claimed it only hit civilians. In a shocking display of new capabilities, the Taliban responded with Operation Rad al-Zom, using suicide drones and ground incursions to seize Pakistani border outposts. The March 16 strike on the Omid Hospital in Kabul marked a point of no return. Images of mass funerals and bulldozers digging trenches for coffins have fueled a new wave of anti-Pakistani sentiment across Afghanistan. Fearing a total regional collapse, Ankara and Doha worked through the night on March 18 to broker this 120-hour window of peace. Information Minister Atullah Tarar was clear: the pause ends on Tuesday. Any cross-border provocation during Eid will be met with immediate aerial bombardment. From Kabul, Taliban spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid mirrored the threat, stating that while they honor the Eid truce, they are prepared for a crushing response the moment it expires. Beyond the 328 civilians reported killed, the energy food nexus we discussed has left border markets empty. Families are celebrating Eid with bread and tea, as trade routes remain shuttered. At the heart of the war is the Tehrik-e-Taliban, Pakistan, or which is called TTP. Islamabad demands Kabul hand them over. The Taliban denies they are even there. Pakistan has accelerated the deportation of millions of Afghan refugees, using them as leverage in a war that is as much about demographics as it is about drones. Beijing has welcomed the ceasefire, desperate to protect its multi-billion-dollar mining interests in the Logar province that are now sitting in a combat zone. The 1893 Durand Line, which the Taliban refuses to recognize, has become a 2,600-kilometer trench of sensors, mines, and mystery. Today, residents gathered for prayers under the hum of surveillance drones. There is no joy, only the relief of not hearing an explosion for a few hours. Pakistan has the air power, but the Taliban has the will to fail. They have proven they can absorb a billion-dollar strike and respond with a $7,000 drone. As the 5-day clock ticks down, neither side has moved toward a permanent diplomatic table. This is a ceasefire for a holiday, not for the future. It's a strange irony of history, isn't it? For 20 years, Pakistan watched the United States struggle to contain a decentralized insurgency in the Afghan mountains, only to find itself fighting the very same monster it helped feed. This Eid ceasefire is a mercy for the families in Kabul and Peshawar, but don't mistake it for a peace treaty. In the high-stakes games of South Asian geopolitics, a pause is often just a chance to reload. Pakistan calls it strategic debt. Afghanistan calls it sovereignty. The families caught in the middle They just call it a chance to bury their dead in peace. The moon has risen, but the sun on Tuesday will likely bring the thunder of jets back to the Hindu Kush. That is the reality of a world where cheap drones and old grudges have made peace the most expensive commodity of all. Facts inform, but stories transform.